Okay, well, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you all for being here. I just want to do a quick administrative remark. If the fire alarm goes off, please just exit to stage left or stage right, I guess that would be. And then the bathrooms are over there where the yellow hose ends through those doors. Those are the restrooms over there. Can everybody please silence your cell phone if you haven't done so already? And then we're about ready to resume the board meeting, and I'm going to bring up our Commissioner Chair Johnson, to resume the meeting.
Thank you, Assistant Chief Ted Hoopin. We could use that opening for the local movie theater to just tell everybody to silence their phones and know where to escape if a fire breaks out. I'm Rob Johnson. I'm Chairman of the Board of North County Regional Fire Authority. I'm calling the meeting back into session. We took a short recess a little while ago upstairs, but we're resuming that meeting now for purposes of oath and badge pinning of Chief Kraski. So with that, I will turn it back to Assistant Chief Ted Hoopin for additional remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. So the appointment of a fire chief is a tradition deeply rooted in the history of the fire service, symbolizing the passing of responsibility from one leader to the next. Dating back to the earliest fire brigades, the role of the fire chief has always been one of great honor and even greater duty. Chiefs have long been the guiding force behind fire departments, ensuring not only the operational success of emergency response efforts, but also the safety, training, and well-being of their crews. The appointment is more than a promotion. It is a call to leadership, a commitment to public service, and an acceptance of the weighty responsibility to protect both firefighters and the communities they serve. The fire chief stands as the bridge between tradition and progress, carrying forward the values of courage, integrity, and dedication while adapting to the ever-changing challenges of modern emergency services. At this time, I would like to invite our representatives from the Still-Squamish tribe, to include former Chairman Sean Yanity, to lead us in an appreciation song and blessing. Please rise.
Tribe. Federal government knows me as Sean Yanity. I'm former chairman of the Still-Squamish Tribe, and I retired, came back. I'm now the Cultural Resource Director. And before we do the prayer, I want to have our drum group here introduce themselves.
I'm Gary Tatro. I'm served as the Secretary on the Tribal Council.
My name is Randy Ram. I'm from the Yakima Nation, and I am a cultural resource director, or cultural resources specialist with the Still-Squamish Tribe.
Captain Pete Nolan, Director of Fish and Wildlife Enforcement. And I'm a Coos Indian.
So I'm going to ask everybody to pray in your own way. Utiwisichak Watia Sohel, Utiwisichak Watia Saskocha, Wahalitu Ti Hitsiam, Chief Dave Kraski, Wahalitu Ti Dus Fachalik Cha, Wahalitu Ti Swatikta Cha. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this gathering. We thank you for this big, important person, Chief Dave Kraski. We also ask for blessings of our land and blessings for our fire department. I use the word Tahiksial, which means big, important person. And in our language, Siab is how you carry yourself. not everybody, just because they're in a very important position as a CIOP, even our chiefs and our councils, our elders, they don't use that word lightly. I've known the chief for a long time, and I definitely feel like he earns the recognition of being CIOP because he carries himself really well. So we're honored to be here. We're thankful to be asked to come and say a prayer in our traditional language, and I'm going to have Ray describe and share with you the meaning of the song of this.
The song that we're going to sing is the appreciation song, and a lot of us know that, you know, the appreciation that we have for one another and for the things that we do, we carry appreciation, and it has no monetary value. The appreciation is what we can offer to and give to people in a certain way, and when we honor that, you know, the song comes along with it. So we're going to sing the appreciation song. And also appreciation, there's a whole story that goes along with it, and I don't want to go into great detail of it, but it was also that we don't ever ask anybody to do something that they weren't willing to do, and that's appreciation. And this man is willing to do that for us as becoming the chief, so this is an appreciation for him.
Sometimes they seem like chants, and sometimes they have words to them. The difference is when there are no words to it, it allows you to be able to pray and send your message in the song with the Creator or the Spirit, and so that way they can hear it and they know what you're praying for. And we add words to it so that way you all will know what we're saying. So just a little to share with that. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Sean, and your team for a memorable performance. It is so important to recognize our tribal partners and their heritage, and that was a wonderful manifestation of the Still-Amish tribe's heritage. So well done and much appreciated. Before we have our board chairman perform the oath of office, I'd like to share a little bit of background on our new fire chief, Dave Kraski. Dave was working as a UPS driver as he was finishing up high school when a knock on his parents' door led to the start of his career in the fire service. The Arlington Fire Department had just opened up Station 47 near the airport and were looking for more volunteers. Dave was all in and was accepted as a volunteer firefighter in 1991. 4 years later, he was hired as a full-time firefighter, and just 4 years after that, he was promoted to captain. For reference, that is pretty unheard of in the fire service, to be promoted to captain after just 3 years of getting off probation as a rookie firefighter. He served in that role for 18 years, and in 2017, he was promoted to deputy chief after the retirement of longtime deputy chief Tom Cooper, who is here today. Deputy Chief Kraski was just getting his feet wet in that new role when only 3 months later, the current chief left to take over the chief role at South County Regional Fire Authority. That led to the mayor of Arlington appointing Deputy Chief Kraski as acting fire chief, a position he held for 15 months until he was permanently appointed fire chief in December of 2018, not realizing he'd be the last of the fire chiefs of Arlington Fire Department due to the merge with North County Fire in August of 21. Chief Kraski assumed the role of Deputy Chief of Operations at North County after the merge, and today formally takes the reins as North County Fire's newest fire chief. For perspective purposes, when Chief Kraski was the chief of Arlington Fire Department, he left that position leading a career firefighter force of 30 and a budget of $5 million, to now leading a career firefighter and admin force of over 90 people and managing a $31 million budget. Dave and his wife Denise have been married for 32 years and have 2 daughters, Jordan and Olivia. So now I'd like to invite Board Chairman Rob Johnson and Chief Kraski to the podium for the recitation of the oath of office.
Thank you, Ron.
All right, go ahead and raise your right hand. Okay. Repeat after me. I, Dave Kraski,
I, Dave Kraski,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution and laws
that I will support the Constitution and laws
of the United States and the state of Washington,
of the United States and the state of Washington,
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform the duties of fire chief
and I will faithfully, Rob,
and impartially
perform the duties of fire chief
for North County Regional Fire Authority
for North County Regional Fire Authority,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
I pledge to uphold the mission, values, and responsibilities of North County Regional Fire Authority,
I pledge to uphold the mission, values of North County Regional Fire Authority,
ensuring the safety and well-being of the residents and personnel under my leadership.
ensuring the safety of the residents and citizens under my leadership.
I will lead with integrity, professionalism, and dedication,
I will lead with integrity, professionalism, and dedication,
fostering a culture of service, accountability, and excellence.
fostering, I'm a bit nervous here,
Fostering a culture of service,
fostering a culture of service,
accountability,
accountability,
and excellence.
and excellence.
I take this obligation freely,
I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and will diligently discharge my duties
and will diligently discharge my duties
in accordance with the laws
in accordance with the laws
and best interests of the community I serve.
in the best interest of the communities I serve.
Thank you, Chief. Congratulations.
Thank you. I was a bit nervous there.
This concludes the agenda for the North County Board of Commissioners meeting. And looking at my fellow commissioners, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Commissioner Oaks and followed by Commissioner Kay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, we are adjourned of the meeting, and we will go on to the rest of the program. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Chief, I take responsibility for that. I said, oh, he'll make it slow and just repeat after him. You have too many words there. We will now transition to the ceremonial part of the badge pinning ceremony of this program, which begins with remarks from our guest speaker, whom I will now introduce. Another Arlington Fire Department original, Tom Cooper became the city's second hired career firefighter in 1991 after having been a volunteer there for over 6 years. Less than 8 years later, he was promoted into one of the 3 newly created captain positions along with Dave Kraski. And then 4 years later, in 2003, he was promoted to deputy chief and held that position for 14 years until his retirement in 2017, culminating over 32 years of service. After his retirement, he accepted a contract with the City of Arlington to serve in a consultant capacity for administrative support of the fire department and also to assist Chief Kraski in his new role as fire chief. Chief Cooper is no stranger to the responsibilities of a fire chief, as he did several stints as acting chief during his time with Arlington while the city replaced their chiefs throughout his 14-year tour there. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Cooper.
Well, first off, I have to thank Dave for at least taking the pressure off me for if I make a mistake here. I'm a little out of practice. So, thank you, Dave. All right, good afternoon. I am honored to be here today. As my good friend Dave Kraski takes the oath of office for the position of fire chief for North County Regional Fire Department. As noted, Chief Kraski and I began our fire service careers as firefighters with the City of Arlington in the 80s and 90s. During that era, community residents signed up as out of necessity as volunteer firefighters. This need was often based on the size, population, and other risk factors of the community they resided in. Neither Stanwood nor Arlington was large enough to support the departments. Thus, the willingness of individuals to stand up to help to protect their families, provide aid to the sick and injured. As I look out across the room, I've had a moment to say hello to a lot of you, and a lot of you started that same way as volunteers in different departments, whether it be Arlington, whether it be Stanwood, Freeborn, Warm Beach, Arlington Heights. It's good to see you. I can assure you that after all these years as a firefighter, that desire has only strengthened in Chief Kraski. Anybody's wearing it is 20 font. Mine aren't as good as they used to be. As I was preparing for this afternoon, I ran across a letter submitted a few weeks ago to the commissioners of the North County Regional Fire Authority, written by Fire Chief Pat Hovis. There were 2 key points in there that truly resonated for me. First, not once, but twice, Chief Hovis offered Dave an assistant chief job within his department. A very well-funded and much larger department. Thankfully, Dave declined. When asked why he would decline such a great opportunity, his response was, "Because these are my people, this is my home, and I can make a difference here for them." That stuck with me. It really did, Dave. It says a lot about you. Second, these were the words when describing Dave that Chief Hovis used. Integrity, kindness, ability to connect, collaborative spirit, and intelligence. And that's you. Thinking about it for just a moment, do these words paint an accurate picture of Chief Kraski? I believe that they do. And I'm sure that you do also. And actually seeing all of you here is so wonderful. This is an amazing event. Do the reasons he stayed at North County Regional Fire for authority tell you a great deal about the kind of person he is. An individual so committed to his community and those that he works with, that he's willing to forgo probably a lot easier path, a whole lot less stress, perhaps even a greater compensation package. For me, that really speaks volumes about who he is, about his commitment to this community and the community of Arlington. Let's be frank about this. Being a fire chief is not for the faint of heart. There's many fire chiefs in here and you guys know what it's all about. Responsibilities are enormous. The pressures one endures are often daunting. Days are long and the work never ends. It never ends. That said, I have absolute confidence that Chief Kraski will manage this department in an efficient, effective, and respectful manner. I ask you, however, there will be times his decisions are not agreed with. I ask you in those difficult moments to remember who Dave Kraski truly is. He is fair, he is a communicator, he won't play favorites. He will make decisions methodically with the interests of the labor group, community, and within the oversight of the elected body. He will be honest and he will be unafraid to stand up and stand his ground as needed. I wanted to share a short story, but it's true story. This was obviously when we were both on the line, and safe to say we were a whole lot younger. I don't remember the exact incident, as it was long ago, but it was a hot and dirty fire. Your chief, Dave, and I were on the first due engine out, and we were sent interior into a structure fire. After a good fire knockdown, we were sent back inside, checking for extension and start pulling ceilings and do that kind of work. Now, if you ever pull ceilings after a structure fire, it is a nasty, dirty, sweaty mess. It's horrible. We'd each gone through a couple bottles of beer before getting us into rehab. As we stripped off our SCBAs, our bunker jackets, our helmets, and sat down, I looked over at Dave. I am not kidding you. There was no dirt on him. There was no insulation like there was on me. There was no sheetrock dust. And the most amazing fact is he took his helmet off. Not one hair was on it. He looked exactly like you see him sitting here right now. That is who Dave Kraski is. He's calm, he's cool, and he's collected. Chief Kraski, my hat is off to you. Over the many years, I've watched you become the leader you are today. Not intimidated by the pressures of the job, not driven by the pay or the prestige, willing and able to make difficult decisions in the best interest of the fire authority and the citizens. You possess the inherent ability to problem solve at any level. Last and certainly not least, your natural ability to be the person who commands respect, gives equal respect, leads with compassion, honesty, and integrity. Serve you well into the future. Great leadership is not defined by rank or title alone. It can be measured by the trust and support of those being led. A leader can have vision, knowledge, and skill, but without the support of their team, even the strongest leader will struggle. A truly great leader does not stand alone. Leadership is a relationship, one built on mutual respect, shared commitment, and unwavering support. It requires not only the ability to give direction, but also the willingness to listen, to learn, and to grow alongside those that you serve. Today, as we recognize Chief Kraski, we also recognize that leadership is a two-way street. Fire chief carries the weight, responsibility, day in and day out. But that weight is not meant to be carried alone. The success of a leader also depends on the individuals that stand up in times of challenge. And that's all you find men and women out here that will be working for. The hands that help implement the vision, and the trust that strengthens their resolve. Your support is not just a gesture, it is a foundation which effective leadership is built, resulting in a sustainable department that maintains a clear view of today's needs while preparing for the challenges of tomorrow. On a personal note, Dave and I have been friends for 25, 30 years now. I am thrilled to see you get this opportunity to lead a great organization of men and women into the future. Dave, I wish you and North County Fire Authority the very, very best. And I'm very proud of you.
Doug's good about telling me what to do here. Stick with the program.
Thank you for those great words, Chief Cooper. So today, as we honor Chief Kraski, we come together for a moment of great significance, the pinning of the Fire Chief's badge and 5 bugled collar devices. The badge is more than an insignia of rank. It represents trust, responsibility, and service. It is a mark of leadership, symbolizing the weight of command and the expectations that come with it. We'll begin with the significance of the 5 bugles. Historically, before the advent of modern communications, officers in the fire service used bugles to issue commands on the fire ground. The more bugles an officer had, the higher their rank and responsibility. The 5 bugles on this badge represent the 5 essential pillars of the fire chief's role. They stand as a reminder of the many responsibilities this leader carries. Responsibilities to their crews, to the agency, to the government, to the community, and to the Board of Fire Commissioners. As we recognize our new chief today, let us reflect on the meaning of the 5 bugles and the commitments they represent. And just as Chief Kraski has taken his oath of office just moments ago, so too will you have the opportunity to affirm your support for his leadership. The first bugle. The first bugle symbolizes the fire chief's duty to protect the brave men and women under his or her command. Safety is paramount, and courage is essential to making tough decisions that keep our crews out of harm's way. So firefighters, do you commit to working together under your chief's leadership to uphold the highest standards of safety and to support each other in the face of danger? If so, answer, we will.
We will.
I think that's it. The second bugle. The second bugle represents the fire chief's role in leading the agency with honor and integrity. From managing budgets to setting policies, the chief must ensure that every decision reflects honesty, fairness, and the best interests of the department. So, North County administration team and officers, do you commit to uphold the principles of integrity, professionalism, and teamwork in support of your chief's leadership? If so, answer, we will. We will. The third bugle. The third bugle represents the fire chief's responsibility to collaborate with local government, other agencies, and mutual aid partners. The chief must act with wisdom, fairness, and diplomacy to maintain strong relationships that benefit all. So local government representatives and partnering agencies, do you commit to work alongside this chief with mutual respect and a shared commitment to public safety? If so, answer, we will.
We will.
The fourth bugle. The fourth bugle signifies the fire chief's unwavering dedication to the community. The chief is not just a leader of firefighters, but also a servant of the people, ensuring that every resident receives the protection and care they deserve. So community members, family, and friends, do you commit to supporting your fire department, to trust in their mission, and to stand behind the leadership of this chief? If so, answer, we will.
We will.
The fifth bugle. The fifth and final bugle represents the fire chief's ultimate accountability to the Board of Fire Commissioners. It is a reminder that leadership carries with it great responsibility, integrity, accountability, and the chief must answer to those who have placed their trust in him. So, North County Board of Fire Commissioners, do you commit to provide the support, guidance, and oversight necessary for your chief to lead effectively? If so, answer, we will.
We will.
Okay, at this time I'd like to invite Chief Kraski's daughters, Jordan and Olivia, to come forward to pin on his 5 bugle collar devices. As the collar devices and badges are pinned on, it is done so with the understanding that leadership is not simply about authority, it is about trust, service, and responsibility. We recognize Chief Kraski as the one who will carry these 5 bugles with honor, and he will be reminded of the significance of the awesome responsibility he now holds each time he attaches those devices to his collar. So, not forget that. Ladies. Finally, the pinning of the fire chief's badge, which is more than just an emblem of rank. It becomes a symbol of duty, trust, and unwavering commitment. This badge will serve as a constant reminder of the oath taken today, the responsibilities embraced, and the promises made to the firefighters and support staff, the community, the surrounding agencies, and the governing body. Denise? Badge be worn with honor, always reflecting the principles of leadership, and may it serve as a guiding light in every decision, every action, and every challenge ahead. Congratulations, Chief Kraski. May you lead with courage, serve with dedication, and know that you carry this badge not alone, but with the full support of those who stand with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the new Fire Chief of North County Fire, Dave Kraski.
A little overwhelming today. Welcome and thank you for taking the time to join us. This is all a bit overwhelming and honestly a little more than I'm comfortable with, but we're going to get through this. I was talking to one of my longtime coworkers who's working today at Station 46 and not able to join us, Justin Hansowitz, who's just a clown and funny in his own way. And he called to tell me that he wouldn't be here because he's working the other side of the district and too far out of his response area. We just had a funny conversation about today and how this was going to go, and the reference came up about that part in Lion King where Simba's presented on Pride Rock, and Justin kind of laughed and he said, I would do it. I would present you like that. And I laughed and I said, you would, only you would request to do it shirtless. And all the staff that's here today is laughing, going, yes, that is exactly true of Justin. I've been kept in the dark of very much been kept in the dark of what was going on today, thanks to Carrie and Teresa, who I kind of affectionately refer to as Laverne and Shirley here at North County. And I realized today as I kind of thought through this, probably a third of my staff doesn't even know who Laverne and Shirley is. Yeah. Additionally, so Carrie and Teresa, thank you very much. Alice and Autumn, Jen, everyone who put this together. Chief Tenhoven, thank you very much. Appreciate everything you do. Your attention to detail is great. Fire commissioners, thank you for ensuring your confidence in me. Much appreciated. I want to recognize some people here today. The mayors of Stanwood, Sid Roberts, Mayor of Arlington, Mayor Vanning. I'm sure there's some council members here from each organization. City managers, Sean Smith. Sean, I saw you earlier. Sean's there. Paul Ellis, I caught a glimpse of you somewhere back there. Still at Wamish Tribe, Sean Yanity and the crew, thank you very much. Very much enjoy serving you and all of your properties here in the RFA. I'm going to just take a moment and point out some things a lot of you probably don't realize today that just kind of the fire service connection to my family. I'm going to get broken up here a little bit. So I'm going to point out a few people. So Lauren, just raise your hand. Lauren Fritz Anderson. Lauren is my cousin. She's a paramedic for Kittitas Valley Fire and Rescue in Ellensburg. Her husband, Scott. Scott, where are you? Scott way in the back there, holding their son. Scott is a firefighter paramedic from Moses Lake. Brian Woolard, my nephew, works for Port of Seattle, Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, firefighter for them. My nephew, Cody, works for Snohomish Regional Fire here in Snohomish County. And my daughter, Jordan, is excuse me, just going through Recruit Academy now. For the city of Redmond. So. They were doing IPSAC testing today, so I'm not sure how you got here from Bellevue to make this event. I want to know how that happened, but you did. I'll point out a few people that have definitely played a huge role in my career. Some of you, I'm going to mention some names. Some of you I know are here. Some of you I'm not sure. Chief Hovis, I heard you're here. I haven't seen you yet. Huge mentor in my career, and I've enjoyed your friendship and leadership. We've had some great times together and phone calls. I'll be honest, when you lived in Arlington and you had that 30-minute drive back and forth each day, yeah, we'd have those 30-minute phone calls back and forth, which were beneficial to us each. So thank you very much. Chief Eastman, Bob, are you here with us? Chief Eastman in the back, current fire chief of South County Fire. Bob and I have known each other a long time. This is perspective. Both my daughters went to Northwest Children's School, a little preschool in Smoky Point area. And Bob's daughter and my oldest daughter, Jordan, went to preschool together. So I met Bob when our kids were in preschool, and we would drop them off and pick them up. And Bob was a firefighter paramedic on the line for South County, and back then it was District 11, Fire District 11, and I was working in Arlington, and we have stayed in touch all these years. And really in the last few months, Bob has been a huge mentor for me, and we've had some long conversations and cups of coffee, and there's one point here just recently we were going to meet for coffee, and he calls me the night before and he says, my furnace went out. And he goes, I can't meet you for coffee, so just come to my house. And so I went to his house and we sat there for like 3 hours and just talked. And Yeah, well, the furnace technician replaced his furnace. Bob, I appreciate your wisdom and friendship also. Barb Talbert, is Barb here?
She couldn't make it.
Barb was the previous mayor in Arlington for 12 years. She was the one who, I guess, her and City Administrator Paul Ellis kind of gave me the chance to be the fire chief in Arlington. And I very much appreciate that. Barb played a huge role in my career, and I appreciate her taking that confidence in me. Couple of people who I know is here. Heather Logan. When Barb appointed me the fire chief in Arlington, she also kind of simultaneously appointed Heather to be kind of my mentor. And Heather and I had kind of weekly check-ins and some good conversations. And Heather, I've told you this before, the thing I always value in you and appreciate is you never leave a conversation with Heather not knowing how she feels. She's not afraid to tell you what she thinks, and so we would do these weekly check-ins, and then they went to kind of like every couple weeks, and then like once a month, and we would have, phone call or coffee or lunch or something, and you helped kind of shape my career, so thank you. And lastly, I think she may be surprised, here's Yola Barnett. Yola, currently, I'm going to get if I get this right, Yola, your Director of Operations for Skagit Regional Health. Yola and I are the same age. I think we literally graduated from high school the same year. And Tom Cooper, who spoke earlier, when we started at Arlington, the EMS service was run through Cascade Valley Hospital. And we used to actually we'd work kind of a part-time job at the hospital also. So we'd work in the fire department, and then one or two nights a week, we would work on the aid cars at the hospital. I think my career at Arlington and your career at the hospital started at the same time, literally like weeks or months apart. And so we've known each other all this time, and probably know each other better now than we ever have through Rotary and some things. But I appreciate just your reflection and kind of helped me through some things over the years. So thank you. Lastly, I'd like to thank Chief John Cermak and wish him the best in retirement. He put in 10 years here with North County Regional Fire Authority and did some great things, and we wish him all the best in his retirement. I'd like to take a moment and kind of share my thoughts and philosophy after some reflection. Carrie let me know here a couple days ago, she said, you better be prepared to say something for a few minutes. So over the last couple nights, I've just kind of sat and kind of wrote this out. We provide emergency services. We deliver safety, security, care, and memories, both good and bad, depending on the circumstances and the outcome. But we must be professional, respectful, and empathetic while we do our work. Our interactions are not forgotten. We must respond to 911 calls realizing how we make people feel. Because in the end, we are in the business of serving residents, business owners, and visitors of our community. The expectation is that we will arrive timely, prepared, meaning well-trained, well-equipped, to mitigate the incident that caused someone to call 911. This is all done by our greatest asset, our employees and staff. They need to feel valued, respected, and safe. When all these things come together and naturally fall into place, we operate almost on autopilot. For those of you that work in the service, you're going to understand this comment, but watching a crew that has been together for a while is kind of like reading poetry. They know what to do without speaking. Simple eye contact says things that a layperson would not recognize, and they inherently know each other's actions and thoughts as the call is evolving. And I haven't said hello to him yet, but Keegan, I caught a glimpse of you somewhere, just raise your hand. Keegan Tatchell. Keegan and I worked together for many years in Arlington. He left and lateral to Bellevue, and he's a firefighter paramedic in Bellevue now. And Keegan and I don't know, I'm just gonna round it off and say we were probably together 7 years, literally every shift. And between Keegan and I and one of two people, Dan Hargroves, was a paramedic with us on our shift who couldn't be here tonight. He's on vacation in Wyoming. And Justin Hansowitz, who's at Station 46 right now. The four of us, we knew what each other's next thoughts were. We spent so much time together, and we were a family. And that is really important. That's the beauty of this job. I'm going to reflect on kind of 3 C's and 3 T's that I feel are vital to our success. And I'm going to thank Dean Shelton. Dean, I said hello to you. Where are you? Thank you, Dean. I kind of stole this first part from you. Is that Dean and I have known each other our entire careers. He was retired as a medical services administrator, MSA, medical services administrator for Marysville Fire District, but went up through the ranks and we worked together for a long time. And Dean is the vice president for the Washington State Council of Firefighters, so the union for the state of Washington, and our district rep here in this part of the state of Washington. So I use Dean as a friend, most importantly, and as a resource, and we get together about every 2 months, and we'll have coffee or lunch or whatnot. And sometimes I'll just ask Dean questions. I'll be like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Can I do this? Like, I'm kind of asking this as like a union question. Sometimes he's like, nope, I'm not going to do that. Or other times he'll be like, yeah, I think you can do that. Or he'll advise me, like, I think you should talk to Greg or Kirk and have that conversation. But Dean, you've been a huge friend. But I did steal this first part from you, is that there are 3 C's that are vital to our success. And the first is culture. The foundation that binds us and holds us together, our values and beliefs and our attitudes. The second is community. The cities, rural communities, and residents we serve. And the last C is communication. This is the hardest part. Keeping the members of the organization informed and updated. If you read any post-incident report on something that went wrong, whether it's a NIOSH report or LNI or whatnot, communication is always cited as a problem. It's a problem in any organization. The statistic is staggering in that only like 20% of the employees read their emails. So you start like, how do we communicate with you? So if we can do those 3 things, and we can have a good culture, good community, and good communication, we will succeed. And the next ones are the 3 T's, and those are truth, to be honest and open, realizing I or we will not always have good news, and sometimes the truth is hard to hear. The second T is trust. We must trust each other at all levels of the organization, at all levels. And this is from Ian and Jeff. I don't know, did our 2 fleet mechanics make it here? Love those guys. Ian hates public events, so I'm not surprised he's not here. But from all levels, from our fleet mechanics to our battalion chiefs, all levels of the organization have to trust each other. And the last T is teamwork. We must be one team working together, serving all of you with professionalism and compassion. We serve 2 cities, the city of Stanwood and the city of Arlington, and over 100 square miles of unincorporated rural area in Snohomish County, and the lands of the Stillaguamish tribe of Indians. We must be one team, one family, looking out for each other and serving one another. One of my goals is for these 4 agencies to work more closely together. We do work closely now. We work with the city of Arlington and the city of Stanwood and the tribe, but over the next few years, one of my goals is for us to work even closer together. So Mayor Roberts, I look forward to that. Mayor Vanny, I look forward to that. There are many opinions on the role of fire chief. In the end, it is to lead the organization. But how is the question? Many of you already know, while others will learn and observe, I believe in communicating an expectation, empowering, and supporting. I do not have to take credit, to be the one in the front of the camera, or to fill a room with an ego. I believe that if I think I am the smartest guy in the room, I should find a new room. And I really believe that humility is the greatest asset that a leader can have. So Chief Cooper said some really nice, kind things about me, and Tom, I thank you for that. I'm surrounded by great people, so I have no doubt that we will succeed. About 20 years ago, I attended a forum with legendary Fire Chief Alan Brunacini, who many of you know, but some of you have never heard of. Chief Brunacini was probably one of the most well-known and respected fire chiefs in the United States. It ended with a session of kind of an open mic, where it was question and answers. You could ask him questions. And I remember sitting, and somebody went to the mic and asked him, "How have you been so successful?" And his answer was, I've never forgot this. He said, "I've been successful because I surrounded myself with the right people. I put them in the right places, and I stayed out of their way." He said, "I do not need to know everything about the Phoenix Fire Department." And he went on to say, "There's many things about the Phoenix Fire Department I don't know, or I know very little about. But I empowered the right people and put them in the right places to be successful." Over the coming years, we will strengthen relationships, build partnerships, and most importantly, show value, because in the end, we exist with community support. They, our citizens, have to feel we provide value and great service with their monetary taxation. In closing, I'll just a quick quote from Chief Bernasini that I've never forgotten. It's just 6 simple words that I believe really sum up how I feel, how I want to lead the organization to the line staff, to the people that do the work. And that is, be nice, be safe, and have fun. You have one of the greatest jobs in the world. So let's get to work.
Take a moment to recognize and thank your family. So Denise, Jordan, Olivia, and your mom, Mary Jean, can you please come up and join your husband, son, and father? This is important to recognize the sacrifice it takes by them as his family to support the job and the service of the fire chief. This concludes the ceremonial portion of the program, but before we break for the reception, I'd like to recognize and thank several folks who played a large role in making today happen. Still-Gormish Tribe, Precision Concrete Explorers to allow us access to their property for parking. For Teresa Ramey for providing the reception food behind us. The Town Chief Nepper and today's on-duty crews for the cleaning and setup of the venue. Carrie Wheeler for her work on the script, invites, and overall logistics. And all those not mentioned by name who helped make this event a memorable one. Thank you all for attending. Please congratulate Chief Kraski throughout the evening as you enjoy the reception. That is all.